One of the real advantages of electric cooperatives membership is having a voice in our state's energy future.
Not a week goes by without important energy issues making headlines. These are issues that need to be discussed. And you should know that as policies are being developed, the cooperatives are looking out for our members, advocating what's best for you.
We are your friends and neighbors.
We are your local electric company.
The electric cooperatives.
We are Arkansas.
And welcome back to Capitol View. I'm David Goins alongside Roby Brock. We are joined now by U.S. Senator Mark Pryor. Good morning, Senator. Thank you for joining us on Capitol View.
Thank you. Thanks for having me today.
Senator, let's start with the Farm Bill set to expire here at the end of the fiscal year, September 30th. You guys have some differing opinions in the House, different opinions in the Senate as to where this farm policy should go. Even if you were to find some sort of agreement between now and the end of the fiscal year, you got to go to conference committee and work all of this out, and that's not going to happen before the existing farm policy does not become farm policy anymore. What happens? What do we revert back to? What are the ramifications?
I'm really disappointed with how the House has handled this. You know, we passed a big bipartisan bill over here in the Senate, got over, I think, 66 votes, something like that. Sent it over to the House, and then they basically blew it up by taking nutrition out of it. And you're right, beginning Tuesday morning, the Farm Bill expires, and we revert back to 1949 agriculture policy in this country. It's terrible. It's not good. It's not good for anybody. But meanwhile, the House seems to have forgotten about the plight of not just our farmers, but one of the strongest things in the entire U.S. economy is agriculture. It's something we do better than anybody else in the world, and they seem to have forgotten about this with all this cliffhanger stuff they're trying to do on the debt and on Obamacare and all that. So unfortunately, they haven't even appointed conferees yet. The Senate has been ready, willing, and able to get this done. We want to get it done. It's way too important to play political games with, and unfortunately the House is dragging their feet.
Senator, you talk about cliffhanger or last minute stuff on the House as we kind of move through this weekend. Do you anticipate Monday kind of being again one of these 11th hour things that we've seen so much from D.C. In recent years?
Let me just say this. I'm afraid it will be, and let me just say this. I bet you most Arkansans agree with me on this. I am tired of the drama. I have shutdown fatigue, okay? I'm tired of it. People in our state are tired of it. People across the country are tired of it. They sent us up here to govern, to sometimes make hard decisions, even decisions that may not always be completely popular, but they want us to lead and show some leadership and govern up here. And unfortunately, what happens is the House is just become a drama city over there. Again, we work in a bipartisan way in the Senate. That's how you get things done. I know the talking heads on talk radio and talk television, they never tell you that, but if you want to get anything done in Washington, you work in a bipartisan way, and that's kind of been my trademark. That's what I've tried to do in the Senate. But when it gets over to the House, what happens is you just have these people. They want to shut the government down. They want to go back and revisit, some law we passed 5 years ago. They want to overturn a Supreme Court decision. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And I think people in my state certainly are tired of it. I know I'm tired of it. And like I said, I guess I'd say I have shutdown fatigue. I'm ready to move on. Let's get back in the business of governing.
But in fairness to some of those folks on that side of the aisle, though, that do have some strong principles and some strong positions, these are the only tools they have to fight with, Senator. So are they not exercising basically how Congress was set up to function, and they're doing what they feel like they have to do in order to assert their principles, assert their positions?
Well, I would say not exactly. For one thing, you don't play games with the U.S. economy, and one of the things they keep talking about is the debt ceiling. They want to play games around the debt ceiling. Look, our economy is just turning the corner from the harshest economic downturn in my lifetime. Okay, the recession we went through started in 08, 09, and into 10. Hardest economic downturn we've had in my lifetime. We're turning the corner. We're getting out of that. If you look at the headlines every day in the business page, yeah, I tell you, it's getting better, and we see it every day. Why do we want to jeopardize the U.S. economy by messing around with the debt ceiling? I think more than anything, what the markets want, what the business community wants around the country, even around the world, is they want to see signals from Washington that, look, it's okay to invest, it's okay to expand, it's okay to hire. Let's do those things. Let's get the economy moving and improving again. And with again, all the drama in Washington, that's not allowed to happen. One last thing on your point, Roby, I understand what you're saying about they feel like it's the only tool. Well, look, some of these issues we voted on and they lost. They lost. And we've had an election since then, and they lost that too. And now they're trying to just scratch and claw and get everything they can. That's not really the way a democracy is supposed to work. A democracy is designed where we make these hard decisions and we all get together in House and Senate and we work through these things. Again, we don't always agree. Democracy is not about agreeing, but you reach a consensus and then you move on to the next issue. And unfortunately, what a lot of people, quite honestly, I'm not too partisan, but the Republicans in the House are doing is they're not allowing us to move on. They keep going back and back and back to the same old issues.
And Senator, I know there's a difference between the government shutdown situation, that's the Monday deadline, and the debt ceiling, because that's kind of middle October. Those two things have been lumped together. But do you see, essentially House and Senate staying in Washington through mid-October, or and having to deal with this debt ceiling thing by mid-October, or can that get resolved before that deadline also?
Well, I think it's very possible we'll be here through mid-October. In fact, as you all know, we're doing this by satellite today because typically I come home every weekend. I live in Arkansas and I'm there every weekend. I'm traveling around state. People see me at the grocery store and all that kind of stuff. And I love being there. It's great for me to be there and hear from people constantly. But that's why we're doing this today, is I'm stuck in Washington right now, and I'll stay here and get it done. If I need to stay here for the next 6 months, that's what I'll do. But surely we'll be able to work through this together. The only way we resolve this is by working together, and I think that's the bottom line. Let's not try these my way or the highway type solutions. That's dead end politics. Let's work together. Let's come together. Let's sort this out. As Isaiah said, come, let us reason together. Let's reason through this. Let's work it out. Let's get it done. And then let's move on to the next issue.
Senator, we got about 60 seconds or less here. Last question. There's been we've got October 1st, the health insurance exchanges light up in Arkansas. This debate in Washington is centered around defunding Obamacare. We've seen the White House push another mandate off. You've been pressed to support delaying the individual mandate. Is there anything that you think does need to be delayed at this point in time related to health care?
Not really. And I think we have some good news here in Arkansas. Here again, Democratic governor, Republican legislature, they came up with the Arkansas Health Connector. I would encourage all your viewers, if they have questions, to get on that website, Arkansas Health Connector, and put their numbers in and see, what kind of tax credit they may qualify for, see if they can get some affordable care. This is the goal of this, is to make sure that you have a competitive insurance market in the state, which we do. The goal is to try to give people options, which is what the Arkansas Health Connector is all about. And I think we need to get it on the books and let's let it work for a while. And I promise you, this bill is far from perfect. There will be things that need to change, but I want that Arkansas Health Connector to work. I think the governor and the legislature, again, bipartisan, have done a good job. I think that's a good story. And I think a lot of people around the country are looking at Arkansas and they're seeing some real leadership here.
Well, we've got a delay for small businesses and Spanish-speaking Arkansans, but we'll see how that glitch works out. Senator Mark Pryor, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, when we come back, our political long table, more about this healthcare discussion and also teacher insurance, a big topic. Alongside Roby Brock, I'm David Goins. You have the Capitol View on Sunday morning on KARK.